Cheers everyone, thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all good and enjoying your weekend. So, like I say, another beer review for you. This was picked up local to me from St Martin's service station. If you're local to Oswestry, go and check them out. Great little place, lots of craft beer, decent prices. And the beer we are looking at is from Brew York. And this is a big old beer. This is a big old beer, come with a big price tag. And we are looking at their, I'm going to have to do this quickly because I'm going to have to read off the label while I do it. Their salted caramel tonkoko. It is salted caramel, coconut, cacao, tonka and vanilla imperial milk stout. That's going to be fun when I put this title up. It's a 440ml can. It is coming in at a whopping 12% ABV. Now I've had the original tonkoko stout, which was like 4.3%. I think there's maybe one or two others in between that one and this one. I'm not sure. Could be wrong, might only be one. But yeah, I saw this and this was £7.89. So yes, it's not a cheap beer, but my word, it is a big one. Now it's quite interesting this because the can has artwork on and it almost looks like the can's been printed for something else. But we have a sticky label on the outside that is saying, you know, salted caramel tonkoko, the imperial side. So I'm not sure about all that stuff. On the back, it is saying, they have this little chart there. Don't know if you can see that. It has hop, fruit, sweet, mouthfeel, bitter, and malt. And it basically gives you a bit of a graph of what, you know, how strong each segment is. So the hop, it's low on hops, it's low on fruitiness. It's full on sweet, full on mouthfeel, mediocre with bitterness, and big on malts. So, lovely artwork, typical Brew York sort of thing, bit wild and wacky. So let's get it cracked open, get it into a glass and see what we get. It's been out of the fridge for a good, fridge is set at about 5 degrees, so it's still quite cold, but it's been out of the fridge for about 3/4 of an hour. Don't have a Brew York glass, so let's whack it in there and see what we get. So, £7.89, you may say, well that's bloody expensive, Baz, and yeah, it's a lot of money for a beer. But I know people that went to Cheltenham this year to the races and were paying £7 for a pint of Carling. So if you look at it that way, all of a sudden this beer at 12%, and it's just over 3/4 of a pint, that is, looks good value. So beer in a glass, there we go. Jet black for me. There is, I'm holding it up against the window, if you like. There's no light bleeding through there. Jet black. We got a finger of tan on top that's kind of fluffy and pillowy and cuddly, if you like. Can't see no bubbles going up. I fully expect the head to disappear pretty quick, but we'll give it a swirl and dive in with the nose and give it a sniff. And I can see, swirling it around the glass, it's leaving a little bit of an oily residue. Oh yeah. I mean, you could say possibly there's an inkling of booziness. For me, there isn't. It's rich, it's pudding-like almost. It's saying not fruity, and I think they mean fruity as in hops. It's not that kind of fruity, but it's got fruit cake, if you like it, that dark raisin kind of thing going on. Prunes, vanilla, cakey, caramel, even maybe a funny kind of saltiness on the nose, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it does smell good, but it has got a sweet nose as well, a slight sweet nose as well. So let's stop sniffing, dive in on salted caramel tonkoko from Brew York, 12% ABV. Cheers. Oh yeah. Very sweet. Very sweet, I'm going to say. Now I've just had a double IPA. So you're going from maybe a little bit of fruity sweetness and bitterness, to a very rich, indulgent, sweet sort of beer. But we'll come to all the other flavours in a bit. Like I say, I can't swill it too much. I don't want to be wasting this beer, but the head's obviously going to go at that ABV. So let's go in again. Decent body, quite weighty, very smooth, very soft, low carbonation. It's not a chewy body, it's just a weighty body. Yeah, it is nice and soft, it is nice and smooth. It's got that oily, typical oily imperial sort of stout feel going on in there. Definitely picking the coconut up in there. There's coconut in this as well. Yeah, salted caramel, coconut. Coconut's big in there. That almost gives it a sweetness. Now for me at the moment, it's too sweet for me. It's too sweet for me, if I'm honest. It's definitely a one jobber at 12%. You don't want to be sitting down having 3 or 4 of these, do you? So it's definitely a one jobber. Not only due to the 12% ABV, but obviously the sweetness in it. On the taste, even though I've probably given you half of it anyway. Yeah, you're getting an alcoholic fruitcake feel. Now I don't really do fruitcakes, I don't really do dark fruits or anything. I don't do Christmas cake, but it's given me that Christmas cake feel to it, with the richness, with the fruitiness, with the alcohol in it. And again, I mean, in all fairness, you know, there's no sort of burn from the alcohol, but you do get that sort of quite powerful feel to the beer. Very complex. There's so much you can talk about on this. I mean, I talk enough as it is, don't I? You get that coconut sweetness, lactose in there, which is where you're getting the milk stout side of things from. It's way too small to read a lot of the writing on there. I mean, look at that. Jesus Christ. How the hell can you read that? I'm 52, you know. I can't read that. I can read that. That's easy, that part. And I can read the bigger writing on the front, but I can't read the rest of it. But yeah, the salted caramel sort of taste, it's there. It is there, but it's almost hidden. It's very easy to pick up the vanilla, the lactose, if you like, sweetness, the coconut sweetness, and you do get the caramel side of it. The cacao you do get, don't get me wrong, but again, even maybe like the salted kind of feel to this beer is kind of hidden behind the caramel, the coconut, the vanilla, the lactose because of the sweet, pardon me, the sweetness. It's a one job. Like I said, it's one of them beers that you're only going to have one of. You're not going to sit and have 3 and 4 of these. 12%, although you do get that little bit of, you do get that feeling of alcohol in there. Like I say, there's no burn. It's not overpowering. It's not even giving you maybe that little bit of a shudder from alcohol. So in that sense, it is well hidden, in all honesty. And it does drink well. It does drink well. But the sweetness for me is a little bit too overpowering. And the alcohol, although not too overpowering, is just that little bit on the reins with you. There's enough there to show its face and say, whoa. So even if you could handle the sweetness, I think that alcohol there in the background would sort of slow you down a bit. But it does exactly what it says on the can. Would I rush out and buy it again? Personally, no. I think it's too sweet. But they have nailed what they're trying to do. Waste of money? No. It's an experience. It's what you do. You buy these beers to give a go. That's what I've done. It's a pudding beer, basically. If you like a big dinner, but you're not keen on puddings, which is basically me, if you like, this might suit you. But it'd be way too sweet for me now. I'm not keen on puddings because it's just way too sweet. I like the feel of the pudding side of it, but just a bit too sweet for me. So yeah, Brew York's salted caramel tonkoko, 12% imperial milk stout. Does what it says on the tin. Is it going to be to everyone's taste? No. Does it make it a bad beer? No. But it is a little bit too sweet. So if you've not got a sweet tooth, this isn't going to be for you. If you love sweetness galore and you can sit there and chew sugar all day, you're going to love this beer. Especially if you don't like puddings as well. So yeah, they're my views on this beer. Give it a go if you see it. If you've got £7.89 or £8 or whatever it's going to cost you to buy it and you want to try it, give it a go. If it's your sort of thing, you may well love it. For me, it's just a good beer, one off, that's it. Move on to the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, and if you've had it, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. That's it for this video. Let's move on. Sunday tomorrow. Get your head down, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.